Okay, this is the hardware wiring for our project. So as you can see, this is the Raspberry Pi connected to the power supply there, and then we're using the T-cobbler for easy manage for GPIO input and output. So next, Hakimi will explain about the all the sensor and how it is wired to the breadboard.
Okay, madam. Now we start with the first sensor, which is the distance sensor. So as you can see here, it have a voltage, triggered, echo, and ground. So for the voltage, you just simply connect it to the 5 volt here, the orange wire. Next, for the triggered, you connect to the GPIO 21 here. As you can see, the red wire in color. Next, for the echo, which is the below it, the brown wire in color. And the last one is the ground, which is the green in color. So the next one is the water sensor. So it's same, have the voltage and ground. The difference is it have the NC and signal. So same as before, the
blue one.
5 volt is connected to the 5 volt here, white in color. Then the blue one is the NC wired connected to GPIO 6,
which is considered as PWM.
The next one is the purple colored, which connected to the signal GPIO 19, and gray wired connected to the ground. And last one, we have a buzzer. Buzzer only have 2 pins, which is the 5 volt and the GPIO pin. So we connected to 5 volt, this color. And the last one is the GPIO 16 for its another pin. So that's all the component we use for this project.
So we come to not the software part actually, but we want to show you how we connect it. We use the Node-RED to connect the sensor and communicate with the Pi. So this is the platform. The first one is the distance sensor. In here, we have the pins that have been explained earlier, the number 16 and the number 18. And if you have a multiple pin connected, and you must separate it with a comma. And then this is the the inject input is between 10 seconds. So after 10 seconds, it will inject another input. Okay, then the topic, and this is the name, the node name, and the water sensor. The water sensor here, we choose which pin that we have connected. So in our case, we have connected the pin number GPIO 19, which is the number 35 of the Raspberry Pi, and then we name it as the water sensor. So the last one is this is considered an output, which is the buzzer to the 20 pin 20. The here we can choose which one, because buzzer is based on the hertz, so we have to put the PWM output. The frequency we put here is 100 hertz, and we name it as the buzzer. So that's all.
Okay, right now you already see how we configure and how we install the wiring and how we connect it into the software, which is the Node-RED. So I will explain to you on how we implement to solve the IoT solution we already planned. So okay, for now you can see this is the distance sensor. As you can see at the below here, 41.9. It is indicate the distance between the sensor and the ground. So right now we not specified yet, but as you can see, it's already working. It show that the distance between the sensor is 41.5 cm. Okay, now I will show you the function. I will explain a bit. As you can see at the function here, we already define our variable sensor, which is the message payload. Message payloads means the output from the sensor. Okay, now if the sensor detect the distance between the sensor and the ground is between 0.1 until 9.9 cm, the message payload will show the distance, which is the output from the sensor, and then it is a string output, which is the status for the water level, which is the warning state. And same as other function, which is if it detect between 10 cm until 19.9 cm, it will show careful, and else, which is 20 cm and above, it will show safe, which means the water is still far from the sensor. And then from the function, it will injected to the email, and then it will also injected to our database, which will be explained at the log 4. Okay, next I will explain about the water sensor. So if the water for for now, the water sensor indicate 1, which means there is no water yet. So if the condition equal to 0, which is the water already reached the sensor, the function will be show the critical, which is the flood is here. It means the water already reached the sensor. Once the water already reached the sensor, it will injected to the database, and it will show that the flood is here. And then it will also injected to the email and send notification to the user, which right now the user is one of our member, which is Irfan. So it will injected, and Irfan will receive the notification. And next, the last node is the buzzer, which is when the sensor already detected water, the buzzer will be turned on. Okay, that's all.